Welcome to the Seating and Selection Show for the 2025 Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue State Volleyball Championships. If you are looking for the postseason matchups, you've come to the right place. I know the Melrose volleyball team is watching. Goddard let me know they're watching as well. I know Logan's out there. Volcano Vista, let me hear you, Hawks. You're out there. Artesia has a get-together down south. St. Michael's, thank you for taking some time to watch. Kirtland Central checked in with us. Oak Grove RSVP'd as well. Centennial, your table is ready and waiting. We'll get to you shortly. Hope Christian is here. Hello. The Rio Rancho Rams are in the house. St. Pius is in front of the screen right now. Welcome to the Elida volleyball team. Didn't forget about you. Shout out to Cobre as well. The Cibola Cougars are out there. Cottonwood Classical. Welcome to the Coyotes. Thank you all for tuning in. We will release the brackets for all classes in just a moment. We have reached the volleyball postseason. You're all excited about it, right? But before we get to the important stuff, we always like to remind everyone how the seeding and selection process works. The seeding process is not the NMAA sitting in a room randomly deciding who should be the 1 seed, the 2 seed, et cetera, et cetera. It is not that. We all know that, right? What it is a process that is all data-driven. The following criteria is used to determine a team's seed. We look at finish in regular season district play, max preps rankings, overall record, wins against district champs regardless of class, member school input, that's the coach's input in their rankings, and any head-to-head matchups. These schools are compared to one another with each of those criteria points, and the seeding is determined like one big math problem. It's all based on the numbers and data. In the event of a tie among those criteria points, head-to-head will be used to break the tie. If there is no head-to-head competition or the head-to-head competition is tied, then max prep strength of schedule will be used to break the tie. There is no input given by NMAA staff. Let me repeat that so everyone hears it. No input by NMAA staff. It's all data-driven based on those criteria points. Did you beat a district champ? Did you have a better record? Were you ranked higher? All of those things, not just one, all of them. There is no bias for or against any school or team. Now that you understand how it's done, let's get to it. I know, you came to see the brackets, right? So let's do it. We will start in Class A. The top team in this year's class is Melrose High School. Melrose won it all back in 2023. Only 3 starters back from last year's team. They are a fixture in the finals, playing in the final 8 of the last 9 years. They didn't get there last year, and head coach Casey Jackson says it re-energized the team.
We just wanted to get back to where we thought we should be. Last year we fell short. We felt like we underperformed a little bit. And this group just, they want to go as far as they can go. That was the goal. Get to the state tournament and be our best versions of ourselves. And that was basically the goal. They want to get back to the state tournament, get back to the state championship game, and play their best volleyball at the state tournament.
Let's take a look at the top 4 seeds. They all receive a first-round bye. Melrose, along with Logan, Elida, and Camado. Camado is the defending state champ. Those are your top 4 who receive a bye. Let's look at the first bracket of the show. Des Moines is an 8 seed and Grady the 9. Gateway Christian earned a 5 seed and will take on Pine Hill, the 12. Mosquero Roy is a 6 and New Mexico School for the Deaf is the 11. Springer is the 7 seed and Alamo Navajo the 10. Now, there were a lot of ties and tiebreakers in this bracket. In this classification alone, 4 districts had ties in their district and had to use district tiebreakers to determine their district finish placement. Elida was tied with Camado in criteria points, and Elida won on strength of schedule. So they're the 3, Camado the 4. Gateway Christian tied Mosquero Roy in criteria points, and Gateway won in strength of schedule. So Gateway was the 5 and Mosquero Roy the 6. For that 9 spot, Grady tied Magdalena in criteria points, and Grady won on strength of schedule. Plus, we had 3 more district champs that had to get in for the spots 10, 11, and 12. Now, that may sound a little bit confusing, but remember, we compare all the criteria points. Moving on to Class 2A, the top team coming into this one is Legacy Academy. The Silverbacks earned the top spot. Legacy Academy is 19-2 with their only losses to Hope Christian and Santa Fe Indian School. Let's take a look at the top four. Texaco's the two. Texaco's the two-time defending state champ. They played in the final each of the last 3 seasons. Mesilla Valley Christian also receives a bye, and so does Raton, the 4. Now, Mesilla Valley Christian reached the final last season and hope to make another run this year.
They play very well together, so they mesh really well together. They get along. They're not playing for themselves, they're playing for each other. And I think that's important when it comes to game day. They want to see each other succeed and do well, and so my young kids especially get really hyped for each other, and it brings a lot of energy to the floor, and I think they do that really well.
Now to the bracket. Cuesta is the 8 and McCurdy the 9. Tatum is the 5 and Manal the 12. Then it's Rehoboth Christian the 6 and Laguna Acoma the 11. Lordsburg, you are a 7 and Oak Grove a 10. Oak Grove finished 3rd in district, but they had the criteria point advantage over Manal. Now to Class 3A, and it's no surprise who pulled in the top spot in this classification. St. Michael's High School. St. Michael's is the 3-time defending state champs. St. Michael's played in the final each of the last 4 seasons. Speaking of 4, let's look at the top 4, shall we? It's St. Michael's, Cobre, Santa Fe Indian School, and Cottonwood Classical. They all get that first round bye. Cobre reached the final last season. They have one of the top players in sophomore Haley Gutierrez, and they are a confident bunch.
The first few years it was just to get to state. Now we want to win it. You know, last year they got a taste of what that was like, and we didn't like coming home second.
Now to the brackets. Santa Fe Prep is an 8 and Hot Springs a 9. West Las Vegas is the 5 and Crown Point the 12. Sandia Prep, you are a 6 and New Mexico Military Institute the 11. Tohatchee is a 7 and Ruidoso is in as a 10. We had a 3-way tie between Sandia Prep, West Las Vegas, and Tohatchee. West Las Vegas won on strength of schedule. Then it was Sandia Prep and Tohatchee. But for that number 7 seed, there was a 4-way tie between Tohatchee, Santa Fe Prep, Hot Springs, and Ruidoso. Tohatchee came out on top, and they got the 7. Crown Point and Navajo Prep were tied in district, but Crown Point had the criteria point advantage, and they got in as the 12. In Class 4A, the team with the top spot in 2025 is the same one that ended 2024 on top and 2023 on top, the St. Pius Sartans. St. Pius is your number 1 seed, the 2-time defending state champ. They've played in the final each of the last 3 seasons. Their schedule included games against Rio Rancho, Cleveland, Albuquerque High, St. Michael's, La Cueva, Artesia. They know they have a target on their back.
Everybody sees the Pius X as a target anyway, I think, a little bit. So, I don't mind it. I think it drives my kids to know that people are coming for them in the sense of we're 2-time state championships. We've had a couple state championships since I've been coaching here at Pius. So our program has a longevity and just the background of being a top competitor across the board in the state in any class. And so I think for us, it's just stepping in and taking over what we can control on our side of the court. But yeah, we don't mind the target.
Here are your top 4 in 4A. Goddard gets a bye, Silver gets a bye, and Artesia gets a bye. They all earned one of those top 4 seeds. Here is the rest of the field. Santa Teresa is an 8 and Kirtland Central a 9. Albuquerque Academy is a 5 seed and Belen is your 12 seed. Hope Christian is the 6 and Taos is the 11 seed. Portales is a 7 seed and Valencia is a 10. For the number 3 seed, there was a 3-way tie between Silver, Artesia, and Academy. And Silver came out on top. Then Artesia and Academy were tied in criteria points, but Artesia beat Academy head-to-head, so the Bulldogs got the 4 and Academy the 5. Last but not least, Class 5A. The top dog is a Bulldog, the Las Cruces Bulldogs. Las Cruces is the 2-time defending state champs and their number 1 seed. They are undefeated on the season, something they did last year too. In fact, they're on a 53-match winning streak.
I don't think anybody even knows about the win streak, to be honest. You know, we don't mention the win streak, and at some point, sometime, somewhere, it's going to end. You know, we're focused, I think, more on making sure that we're there at the last, making sure that we're there to compete for the blue trophy. And there are some other good teams in this state, and so we have to stay focused. We have to stay intentional as far as what we're doing.
Here's your top four. La Cueva is the 2, Cleveland the 3, and Albuquerque High the 4. All of them had really, really, really good years. The final bracket release, get your camera ready. It looks like this. Cibola is in as an 8 and Rio Rancho the 9. Volcano Vista is a 5 and Clovis is your 12. Santa Fe is the 6 and Centennial the 11. Los Lunas is the 7 and Oregon Mountain the 10. Now, Cibola had to get in before Rio Rancho, and Cibola had the advantage in strength of schedule over both Oregon Mountain and Clovis. Then the Rams were in as the 9 with a criteria advantage over the others, and Oregon Mountain, and Centennial had a criteria advantage over Clovis, which settled those 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 spots. Hope that makes sense. There you have it. All the brackets. The postseason starts this week. Don't forget, you can watch state championship games this weekend on the NFHS network. So get a subscription and log on, and you can watch the championship matchups. That's going to do it for the Seating and Selection Show for the Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue State Volleyball Championships. Good luck to all the teams involved, and remember to compete with class.